political analyst Brian Sobel on this Sunday morning. Brian, always a pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. Beautiful day, Frank.
Indeed. Well, the Chief Justice Roberts said, quote, "Mr. President, impeachment is not an appropriate response to a disagreement concerning a judicial decision." How much is too much here, Brian?
Well, to your earlier point, the president is pushing on every inch of the envelope, as it were, in his aggressive way. That is a Donald Trump way to make things happen. But that rebuke by Chief Justice John Roberts was rare and strong. And essentially what he said is this is something that needs to be dealt with in appellate courts. In other words, if you disagree with a judge, go to a higher court and talk about that. And basically that pretty quickly quieted the president on this issue of impeachment of a federal judge. We have laws in place, and while the president is trying to push his own agenda, the Constitution is the Constitution.
Indeed. Let's move on to DOGE. The Department of Efficiency is dismantling the Department of Education, saying the states, well, they can just govern themselves when it comes to education. How will this affect federal funding here in California? Because 14% of the state's funding does come from Washington. How will this all work if the Education Department is dissolved?
That's going to be the question. You have federal dollars that flow out to all the states in the union. And by the way, educational systems around the country are different in different states, some much better than others, some in much greater need of dollars than others and direction from Washington, D.C. So dismantling the Department of Education is a huge undertaking. I think some people would say, hey, returning money to the states and let them figure out how to handle it is a good idea. The problem is how and how much.
Yeah. Well, it's all about saving money, and the president now spending some money. Your reaction to President Trump's F-47 state-of-the-art fighter jets to be made by Boeing for a possible conflict with China?
Well, over many years, we've continued as a country developing weapons capabilities. The F-47 is what's known as the sixth generation fighter with fighter pilots in them. We are quickly developing autonomous vehicles as well, as is the rest of the world. But you'll notice that the timing comes on the heels of China announcing some stealth fighter jets and new technologies themselves. And I think this was the president advancing the F-47 for the purposes of saying to the Chinese, if you think you're ahead of us, we are ahead of you. And these weapon systems, as you know, Frank, take so long to come to fruition. They're in planning stages, they are in testing stages, but it takes a long time to get these planes into the air for any country in the world, frankly.
A quick thought on the Democratic Party. Where are they right now?
They're in disarray, and they need to come together around two things. They have to come together around ideas and leaders. And I think right now the Dems are pretty much in a reaction mode. Donald Trump, frankly, has in his 63 days in office, has really run so fast that the Dems can't keep up. But it's a long time to go before the next election. And so the Dems have to do some basic things to get back in the game here.
Well, I wanted to ask you about Tesla and Elon Musk, but we're out of time, Brian. Plenty to chat about. We'll do it again, hopefully, in weeks to come. Always a pleasure. Enjoy your Sunday.
Great seeing you, Frank.
All right, Brian. Thank you for that. Let's get to weather now and say